fell in love with Hong Kong New Wave cinema in the 80s and 90s, even though I had to watch them on bad VHS tapes that looked like this. But these intoxicating films displayed so much wild energy, audacious style, and delirious insanity that I just couldn't resist them. In The Heroic Trio, Michelle Yeoh engages in high-flying action with a demon. Plus, there's a plot to kidnap babies, a doctor making a cloak of invisibility, and sexy female superheroes to foil the villains.
The Heroic Trio and Executioners, these are not films you would normally think of as the important films of world cinema. Oh, but they are. These are just the wildest 1990s Hong Kong action movies. Not necessarily like in terms of just breathtaking action, but also just these are a little deranged.
Both films received 4K restorations and will be screening as part of the festival's Classics Restored. And that's what I love about the programming. It's boldly diverse, like a carefully curated mixtape with something for everyone.
But I think privately, like, mixtapes are also for the people making the mixtape. There's something about this too. These are just the ones that spoke to me. They're kind of a personal, like 2022, these are the movies that gave me life.
Whose playlist includes a creepy serial killer tale called Lesson in Murder.
I hope that people go see this movie because in some ways it feels a little Silence of the Lambs. Most of the thrills come between a criminal and a non-criminal on both sides of the glass in a prison during visits. So it has that, but definitely in its own like very Japanese way.
Australia and New Zealand may not be the first countries people think of finding at an Asian film festival, but they absolutely belong. This year, Who programmed an anthology called We Are Still Here.
The really ambitious part about it is they take as their impetus Captain Cook's arrival in the Pacific Islands as a kind of like spark to indigenous people having a voice, but then that cascades into talking about anti-colonial resistance. And then that turns into this like incredible imagining of what the future might look like. Yeah, so not only does it show that there are many voices in the Pacific Islands, indigenous voices, but that they're really thinking outside of the box.
We Are Still Here highlights new filmmakers, but the Masters sidebar showcases veteran filmmakers such as Iran's Jafar Panahi.
He's probably best known as one of the filmmakers in Iran who've constantly been targeted by the government for being outspoken about things like freedom of speech. He's constantly being put on house arrest. In fact, I think after he made his new film, New Bears, which is the one we're showing, he's been put in prison again for defending the rights of artists. And his films are sort of about that, but not really about that, right? I think he's really savvy about, like, let's not directly tackle these most sensitive questions, but like, how do we use allegory? How do we talk about freedom in different kinds of ways? They're all coded.
In contrast to No Bears is Too Cool to Kill, a Chinese comedy about a movie extra who has delusions of being a great actor, which makes him the perfect stooge for a film company that needs to deal with some mob interference.
They realize, well, what if we just tell this extra that we've cast him in a mob movie, and we just tell him, this is all pretend, just hold this gun, and when we say action, you take care of our business. And you'll think you're the greatest actor in the world. The problem is the greatest actor in the world will sometimes change the scene. will sometimes bring more to it than you bargained for.
That sounds delightful. And I'm ready for anything else on Who's Mixtape, because he's never disappointed me. Thanks for watching. I'm Beth Accomando, KPBS Arts and Culture reporter. Please check out the playlist and subscribe, and we'd love it if you'd share. Thanks.